few runs tonight right off the bat. But I'll turn things over to Red in a second. But we've optioned Dietrich and Marcell Ozuna to Double-A. I want to make this really clear that the offensive woes of this team, I don't want to be attributed to them. That's not why this is happening. And I want that to be clear. It seems, we just had a rough weekend and now we're sending a couple of players out. I don't want it to be construed in that manner at all. Those kids did an incredible job. We rushed them here to the big leagues out of need. They had very little to almost no Double-A experience, and they did a great job for us. But heading into the break and over the weekend, we talked about their at-bats and their approach and the mental side of the offense, et cetera, because the defensive side for both those players has been excellent. And we just thought it warranted a time to go down to the minor leagues and work on some offensive things on both their parts. And again, they still have some work to do in the minor leagues. They were rushed up here, and when we just spoke to them, it was in a very positive manner, and deservedly so, because they did a great job. And we asked a lot of them, all the way back to putting them in the middle of the lineup right off the bat when Lomo and Stanton were out, and they responded and did a great job. So they're part of our future, and part of our future is coming as well. Jake Marisnick and Christian Yelich will be here tomorrow. They'll both be selected. We'll have to do a couple 40-man roster moves to make room for them, which probably involve some guys that are already on the DL, but we haven't talked to those players, so we're not going to let that out yet. Nothing major there, but they both swung the bat very well in Double-A. They're both healthy, which we've been waiting for all year, and this is a good time to bring them and have them get the experience, so we're excited about that. So we kind of look at this as a positive all the way around. We're sending down a couple players to get some fine-tuning that are part of our future, and we're bringing up a couple guys that obviously we want to take a look at, and we think are going to be part of our future as well. So
obviously Mike does the lineups, but I mean, you don't bring these guys up here to sit on the bench. I mean,
I'll let Mike address that.
They're going to be in the lineup, I would assume, right?
Again, I'll let Mike do the lineup. We've talked about it. As a general rule, we don't like sitting young players, and they're not coming here to sit.
Yeah.
Are those moves going to be official tomorrow?
The two players have been optioned tonight. The two players will be selected tomorrow. So the corresponding 40-man moves and the actual selection of the two players will be tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
How come those guys started tonight down there?
We wanted to get them a couple at-bats. It was part of the program. I was wondering if you guys would catch on to it, but we said 2 at-bats tonight, and then pull them out. And then get them going. But we want them to have a couple at bats instead of just sitting, and they're fine. And they're going to be on their way.
You said they took it was positive, but for Ozuna and Dietrich, I mean, it's got to be tough. I think Ozuna probably felt like he performed well enough to be here. Dietrich played well for you at times. I mean, was it a tough conversation?
No, it is a tough conversation. They're never easy. They're great kids, and they've done a great job. They have some work to do, and you want them to be upset. You don't want them to think, oh great, I'm going to Double-A. No, you want them to be upset and disappointed, and they both acted and looked like big leaguers, and that's important, and that's how they handled themselves. So we expected them to be disappointed. We think it'll be a positive for them in the long run, and on the flip side of it, we're going to bring up some high-end talent that we get to take a look at.
Not to get too far ahead of things, but how big of a benefit is it going to be to have those 4 guys in camp next year with major league experience? Just having that.
I think it's certainly something we've talked about, Juan. And this part of this year is obviously getting to know some of our new inventory, getting the necessary experience and winning ball games. And we're trying to do all those things. And Red and the staff have done a great job. They've showed a lot of patience. And then at times they've kicked these guys pretty good when they need to, and they've responded. So, the record's the record, and nobody's happy about it. But there are a lot of good things happening here. We're bringing up some guys that I think are going to be real exciting, and we have some guys that are in the organization that are very exciting, and there's more to come. So we all talked about how difficult it is to actually have the conversation, but in general, looking at the total transaction, we think it's a positive all the way around.